This is ToonTalk.
Toontown?
Not here at Toontown. This is, of course, the animation conversation right here on CartoonChat, part of the ScreenBlast lineup. Of course, here on ToonTalk, we sit back and we talk about sort of things rather briefly. We talk about things in the animation community, the recent news, or just general topics that might be interesting to discuss. Today, we're going to be talking about the contents of the mess going on in in Coyote versus Acme. That whole mess, Warner Brothers, all that stuff. So that's our overall docket for today. Oh, and of course, it's not just me, Bryan the Baltimorean. I'm joined with the man, the myth, the legend himself. That is ridiculous.
K9 Biscuits.
And man, we are a top tier show right now. I tell you what, this is some high quality coverage. Anyway, guys, of course, we're just going to run through everything that sort of has gone on in the world of that, the mess, the chaos over at Warner Brothers. So we'll go through a progression of how things got to that point and just our overall thoughts of that. Mark, how you doing? We just did a recording of Tangled, so this will be going out not too far from it.
Not well. I didn't like that movie at all, and we discussed what I hate about that movie in the Tangled chat, so stay tuned for that.
That's right.
And I think it's honestly one of the worst Disney movies ever made.
Yeah.
And I actually, Bryan likes it, he liked it, and then I convinced him.
No, you convinced me that Raya was better, and then I was like, you know what? You're right.
Fuck.
You're right.
I take it back. I changed my mind. Raya isn't better. I think Tangled is good. You know what? I think Tangled's good. I changed my mind.
I like how that pushed you over the edge, like you were being threatened by that. That's crazy. Yeah, man, this has been a mess. I mean, like, before we get into just
what's a mess?
Deepening this, let me put this full screen. Coyote versus Acme, the state of that movie, the fact that everything that went through with it. Before we get into it, Mark, like, just the idea of what's going on, what do you think about this? You are much more into the Looney Tune land than I am. We've obviously all grown up with them. If you've had Cartoon Network, you know about them. But man, what was your immediate thought overall, just of like learning more recently, of course, of that Warner Brothers had planned to just completely, just axe it entirely, even though it was completed.
This is like a weird concept for a movie. It's based off a comedy article.
Yeah.
Of like the Wile E. Coyote suing Acme for all the bad products, and it's seems like I haven't read it, but it seems like a fun joke article, and it was weird. Like they were making a movie out of it. This is a weird project, and like I honestly couldn't imagine it. But like the fact that they were making it, I was like, I'm interested to see what they will do with it, and like it's still hard to believe it at one point it is. I mean, that still is real. I think this was alongside another project where I forgot the name of it, but like it was around the time when HBO Max was new, and just when the movies were announced was like a guy who can like see like cartoons.
Yes.
It's not out of Jimmy's head. Yeah, it's not reanimated or not out of Jimmy's head. It's like something different, but you can see like Droopy. And one of them was Wile E. Coyote. There's like a very short teaser out there. I wonder if that's still in production. I hope that's still getting made. But like around this film's cancellation, like finding out it was real, it was like, a bunch of stuff leaked from it. I didn't see the leaked stuff, but like I heard like the filmmakers talk about how like it's an amazing film. It's like it has other Looney Tunes appearing in it, as John Cena as the villain, and John Cena is a funny actor, and the fact that everyone it tested well, and like they're saying like the ending actually made people cry, and I'm just like, fuck, I gotta see this movie. Like, it's hard to believe it's like this comedy article adaptation is real, but like I'm all the more curious of it, and it seems like they're just like having the most fun with it, and I'm like, I was kind of heartbroken learning that like it's axed even though it's nearly done, and I will just never see it.
Yeah, that was definitely a big shocker. When this was canceled, by the way, like what you're referencing when they did the test screenings, at first, when I heard about the test screenings, I was totally thinking, man, a lot of people said that The Flash was the best movie ever made too. And then there were like actual legitimate people saying, oh, this is actually like an amazing movie. Like, Coyote versus Acme. Like, oh, this is a very special film. I can't believe what Warner Brothers is doing. Things like that. Like, that's when it felt like more genuine. It wasn't just lip service to the creative team that made it, but more that it truly was this fantastic feature.
What?
But at least something that was special for Looney Tunes fans.
To be fair, I didn't hear many positive things for the Batgirl test screening, and like when that was announced to be axed, honestly, nobody I didn't see anybody on the internet crying over that.
No,
it was just like it was just like the only thing everyone's found stupid about it was like, okay, Batgirl was axed, but Flash gets to stick around and have a full like promotion budget.
It was also like, it's always been weird, the idea like, oh, like it's done. Like you sunk the money into it. Like I don't know. Like even if you thought you were going to lose money on it, like you're not going to finish it. That's crazy.
And it didn't bother me. Like I can go through my life without seeing the Batgirl movie. I don't care. But like, like when the same treatment happened to this movie, it's like, I can't imagine this movie. I need to see this shit. And this is like it seems like they're having a lot of fun with it, because in my head I can easily imagine like a fucking bland ass Batgirl movie. I can't imagine this, and I gotta see it from it to believe it.
I can. It seems like just a ridiculously cool idea. That's the thing. It's like what is this gonna look like? What is the situation? How is John Cena gonna play it? I know he's.
How are the characters gonna be animated? Like, are they gonna be like? Right. Are they gonna be like Space Jam, like 2D and 3D, or
how
are they gonna be CG
and all that? Yeah, it's very interesting concept.
What Looney Tunes are also gonna make appearance in this? One of the filmmakers compared it to Roger Rabbit, and like I'm down for that. I've been waiting for like since I was born for that Roger Rabbit successor.
What are you talking about? There was Space Jam.
Space Jam 2. And then Space Jam 2 topped it. What are you talking about? I mean, honestly, it's not that great of a movie, but like the closest thing we got out of what?
I don't know, Mark.
Fucking technicality is Chip and Dale.
I mean, you think it's the best. I'm still gonna put Space Jam over it, but
actually, never mind. I'll put Looney Tunes Back in Action over that.
Cool.
Back in Action is better.
I know you think it's better.
Have you watched Back in Action recently?
No.
Watch it again. Fucking, I keep telling everybody because I didn't think anything about it until I rewatched it, and then I rewatched it and I'm like, oh fuck, this is better.
Wasn't that Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Everybody, I did a whole video. It's my only popular video.
Jeez.
So like, watch Looney Tunes Back in Action.
So, all right, I'm going to run through the overall progression of events here. So, in December of 2020, that's when Warner Brothers greenlit Coyote versus...
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
What else do you got?
Looney Tunes Back in Action turned 20, I think, last week.
Oh, that's good. Hey.
It's just on something. I just wanted to mention it. It just last week. It just turned 20.
That's awesome. Legitimately. Because we'll acknowledge it more than, Warner Brothers will. All right, so let me run down these.
They want to forget that movie happened. And so does the director, Joe Dante. Like, if you talk to him about Looney Tunes Back in Action, he's like, don't talk to me about that. I'll kill you.
I'll kill you? Oh my god.
No, not that extreme, but yeah.
Oh my god.
But he doesn't like talking about it.
I'll put you in a place where you're gonna see Looney Tunes.
Like, you can talk about Gremlins. Talk about Gremlins too. Don't talk about Looney Tunes Back in Action. Don't say that. Don't say those words in front of my family.
Okay. All right. So in December of 2020, that's when WB greenlit Coyote vs. Acme as an HBO Max movie. By the way, at some point in the next 12 months, WB pushed the film to get a theatrical release of July 21st, 2023. On February 16th, 2022, WB announced John Cena would star in Coyote vs. Acme as well, and We learned more about it, that it would be a live-action CG animated film. We learned that the director was Dave Green. We learned that Chris DeFaria and James Gunn would be executive producing. And then in April 2022, Warner Brothers removed Coyote vs. Acme on its schedule, theatrical schedule, after placing the Barbie movie in its place. But the big thing that started catching eyes was they did not give Coyote vs. Acme a new release date. Now, in early 2023, Warner Brothers announced, and this is a quote literally from them, I want you to hear this one, quote, "With the relaunch of Warner Brothers Pictures Animation in June, the studio has shifted its global strategy to focus on theatrical releases." This is what a WB Motion Picture Group spokesperson said in a statement. With this new direction, we have made the difficult decision not to move forward with Coyote vs. Acme. We have tremendous respect for the filmmakers, cast, and crew, and are grateful for their contributions to the film.
And they're just reading that like, bitch!
Now, here's the thing that makes no sense. In the beginning it says, the studio has shifted its global strategy to focus on theatrical releases. Well, just want to let you know, Warner Brothers, this was already a theatrical release. I don't know if you even knew. I don't even think they fucking realized this when they wrote the fucking thing. You scheduled this as a fucking theatrical release, man. Like, and you're saying like, well, we have to cut this movie because we're focusing on theatrical releases. Well, that doesn't even make fucking sense. We also know that Coyote vs. Acme cost $72 million to make it last. Was at least budget-wise $72 million.
And that's as much as they spent on other shit.
Yeah. What do you think of that quote? By the way, I just think it's like so fucking stupid. It's like, yeah, whatever. You didn't like, yeah.
I don't think much of it, but like I like it. I like the quote when it's referenced in response from the filmmakers, because the filmmakers are pretty much like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Like, much respect to the filmmakers for making this, like, we're done. We just fucking, just release it.
Right. Like, yeah.
Like, it probably just needs a few touches, but, like, you just, like, they're saying, like, the movie's just fucking done. What the fuck's going on here? Like, they worked for years on this, trying to make it good. They're probably listening to executive notes. And, because they probably, like, with every movie, and every show, whatever, every media that goes through Hollywood, it probably has to take executive notes.
Oh, yeah.
And then, they follow those so that to please the executives, so the movie can just keep going, moving forward. They probably already took executive notes, and then the executives are like, all right, you can just trash this.
So here's the funny thing about that. So you already brought up the fact that Warner Brothers gave media and streaming companies a screening of the finished film, or almost finished film. You said that already.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, Amazon is the front runner right now, as far as we know. But here's the thing: CEO David Zaslav is claiming that the axing wasn't his call, apparently, and he just threw it on the president of
he did it.
Of WB Motion Picture, so Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, and he also said that WB Animation president Bill Damachek, it's also his fault. But again, so here's the thing that I think it was either the Hollywood Reporter or Deadline Reporter. They're like, yeah, but they don't have to worry about. They're not the ones that crunch the numbers. That's not their job. That's CEO's job. It would go to him. Like, so whatever,
so he can just say,
whatever he's talking about.
So they can just say, dude, they can just say, hey, let's scrap this. And he can just say, no.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. And it just doesn't go through, it just isn't scrapped.
Yeah, like, that's why it's like, whatever you're talking about, like, they don't make that decision. He makes that decision, but he's trying to throw it on them, like, yeah, they made this choice. It's like, no, you are the big guy. What are you talking about? That is the lamest thing ever, to hear a massive CEO say that. Like, dude, you did it. Just take the L. You did it. Like, yeah. You're the fucking leader, man.
He's already the villain. Like, just it doesn't matter anymore. No one likes you, and no one's going to like you. You already said you're focusing on reality TV. So, like, and you already can like some good shit anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was like a fucking Scooby Doo Christmas special they
So here's the two, right? So, Batgirl. So here's the thing. Coyote vs. Acme, if it didn't get the public outcry that it did, would have joined Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Haunt as tax write-offs. So, yeah.
I don't really care much for Scoob, but like, I mean, Scooby Doo movies are usually inoffensive. If I had nothing to do on a day, I probably would have looked at it.
Yeah. I just don't see what the like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was done, like, they release Scooby Doo movies all the time, and I don't see what the point of canceling this one.
Yeah. So
especially they were trying to make a franchise out of that Scoob movie.
Yeah. Like, that was literally, like, the goal was to make that a Kickstarter. Like, make it first movie and then keep it going.
I'm not sure how successful it is, but, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the box office price, because Scoob is a decent IP.
Well, wasn't that same day back then?
No, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure the box office would have been decent if it released in theaters at all. It didn't.
Oh, it didn't. Fuck.
It was directly on Amazon Prime. I know because I bought it. I own it on Amazon Prime, and we had a watch party when it came out.
That's cool. Yeah, it's so I just. Is that no longer? Or is that just?
That was the shipment thing.
Okay.
That was late.
Cool. So, I just want to get we can both talk about this. We got, like, morale at WB, you gotta imagine, is low. Like, I mean, you talk about a president that's like this, it's like, and by the way, like, I know we weren't going to talk about this today, but sadly the same thing's happening over at DreamWorks Animation in terms of what's going on with them and what their studio is doing and what actions are happening at DreamWorks Animation. But when you have a company that's like, oh, it's so careless. It's so like, hey, we're not prioritizing the team. We're going to cut something you might have worked on for several months. Like, I know that if you think it's just a job, not you, but if you're a person that just thinks, oh yeah, it's a job, so I still made money anyway, like, I'm sure there are those people out there. But but it's animation, man. Like, you want to put your opinion. You want to express.
I'm sorry, but, like, at any studio, what morale is high? Because we just came from, like, a writers and actors strike. And, like, we hear, like, through Disney, through Netflix, like, animation divisions usually get treated like shit a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because, like, I know somebody in the anime, like, at one of the college I go to. But I don't go to college. I mean, friends. I have friends at a college. One of them wants to work in animation, and I'm just like, follow your dreams. But, like, I don't know. I can't really think of a place that treats animators well.
Yeah.
Because, like, nowadays, I keep hearing so many stories about a lot of them get treated like shit. DreamWorks
just cut their animation staff by 20%. They're outsourcing their animation to other places. And also, we know...
Is that Universal's doing?
We also know that's Universal's doing, yes. But it's also being overseen by the DreamWorks president, who is really tight on budget. We also have, obviously, Sony Pictures Animation with Spider-Verse, where that was being reported as well. That conditions were not obviously favorable at all. A lot of stress going on there to get that movie out. So, yeah, like you said, across the industry, not great.
Just working in Hollywood in general seems like shit.
Yeah.
It used to be my dream as a kid, but, like, I'm kind of glad I just focus on, like, just regular work and hobbies for right now.
Yeah, Zone 100. Yeah. So.
I would prefer just to fucking make something, and then, like, Hollywood comes to me and, like, hey, let's do an adaptation. All right, just give me the royalties. I'll just collect royalties. I don't want to be a part of any fucking production.
Oh my god. Just
unless I'm a kid.
Get me out of there.
Yeah.
I feel you. The interesting thing is, obviously, this is executive producer was one of the executive producers was James Gunn. He was one of them, and he obviously was supposed to be a very important piece to DC, which is another media arm or an entertainment arm of Warner Brothers. This leads into question
he did screenwriting for one of the most perfect movies ever. Scooby Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed.
Is that a good movie? I don't know. Is that a good movie? I mean, that was also
it was fun.
That was also a younger him. Like,
yeah, it was.
If you're gonna hold that,
I just wanted to bring that up as a joke.
That's good.
Do you not remember? It's such an obscure.
That is, like, an ancient
weird,
callback. That's like an ancient callback.
Weird, live action adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, again, they were fine. They were just there. And then the second one, I definitely did not give a fuck about.
Because the Zelda movie was announced, and, like, and Miyamoto announced he was working with, like, I forgot who's the head of Sony.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone keeps making jokes like, oh, the person who made Morbius?
By the way, did you see the fucking Madam Web trailer? That shit is atrocious.
We'll talk about that on
No, of course, this is ToonTalk, but,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, Sony...
Bad!
Like, this is the thing, like...
I can go more into depth, but, like, it's just, like, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna rim this conversation around this here. This is why you cannot trust Sony with Spider-Man. Because they'll make Across the Spider-Verse, but then all they've made around that is Venom 2, Morbius, and now you're gonna tell me you have Craven... live action, and you've got Madam Web, and all these don't look great. Like, they either weren't great or they literally look bad. Or they
some of their other animation stuff was good. Like, I thought the Emoji Movie was pretty fun.
I literally, I was about to grab this transition, and you're like, oh my god, let me reference the cheesiest shit, the cringiest shit they've ever done. Like. That was, man.
Emoji Movie was a fun time.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. It's just almost perfect.
Absolutely. But yeah,
He agrees!
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's what I absolutely think so. It's better than The Incredibles, guys. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I need to watch it again. Maybe it is.
Yeah, it probably is.
I need to watch it. I never saw it before.
You go ahead and watch it again. You go ahead and watch it again.
Next Cartoon Chat confirmed, people.
No. Well, it's your choice next, so you could literally drag us through the hellhole. You literally could drag us in hell. It is. Yeah. Anyway. But overall, I just think, like, this is an interesting situation since James Gunn is a critical guy over there. It has one of the guys that he cast for Peacemaker, the series, and also obviously his Suicide Squad movie, and they don't care. It kind of gives you a weird feeling about what could happen with DC projects if they don't make money.
It makes me wonder, why do people still want to work for them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They must pay really fucking well. Like, really well. Yeah. If, like, they're so getting, like, if they're somehow getting, like directors. And then Christopher Nolan said he's ready to work with them again. For some fucking reason.
I believe so, yeah. But he was just saying, like, if the agreement is right. Because what they did before was BS. But I think he's just looking for anyone. He wants to make his movies.
Another really bad decision was that day and date shit. Everyone hated it.
I don't know if that
fucking was. Legendary fucking hated it.
You think? I mean, that, and don't you think also Disney is definitely, again, Disney, even though it's not day and date, they definitely don't, they definitely would regret, like, hey, if they could go back in time, the thing they would go back in time and do is never do a streaming service. Because it's put their shit in a situation of, like, ooh.
It's fucking really, Scarlett Johansson wants to fucking steer their asses.
Right. And so, like, whether it's Warner Brothers or it's fucking Disney or any of the major players, that's why Sony, I think, is in a smart place. I mean, you know who DreamWorks is handing off their animation to? Some of their animation to? Sony Pictures Imageworks. Do you know who decided, hey, we're gonna splinter all of our stuff off into different directions, into different streaming services? Sony Pictures. So it's a smart move.
I wonder if people are also just, like, bringing their stuff to Sony Pictures, because, like, we're gonna do a trailer talk eventually for some of the stuff, but, like, I think, was the Garfield movie ever with Paramount Productions? Because the fact it's Sony, it doesn't make much sense to me, because Paramount has an animation division, but, like, they own, Garfield's their own property. It's like if they announce a new SpongeBob movie and the first thing you see is Sony and by Sony Pictures Animation.
That's
because this movie was put into production far after they already acquired Garfield.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Garfield movie. Let me see here. Do we have time? We'll have a little bit of time. I'm gonna try and get this done because there's a bus coming in 16 minutes. So, I think.
Don't you gotta download the file too?
Yeah, so Garfield movie, 2024. Development began in May 2016.
Oh.
Viacom acquired most of the rights. Production proceeded. In November 2021, Sony purchased the distribution rights for the film. So that's what happened. They thought, man, this is too good to pass up. This Garfield movie.
They were still able to do that though, even after the fact.
This is too good to pass up.
They purchased the distribution rights after they bought it.
Yeah. 7 years after 20th Century Fox's license from Paws Inc. expired, it was announced that Outcry Entertainment would develop a new CG Garfield animated film. Mark Dindal was announced as director in 2018. Pre-production beginning the following month. In August 2019, Viacom acquired most of the rights to Garfield, leaving the status of the film at the time uncertain. Okay, so Alcon was developing it, but that's like a random, like not specific to any company, outsourcing kind of studio. So then that's what made it easy for Sony to say, all right, we're going to grab this and you'll still produce this within our help as well.
Well, currently, the Looney Tunes movie is being outsourced, deemed distributed by a different company.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it's still being animated at Warner Bros., but it's being distributed because the day the Earth blew up or something like that. It's like it's being, because that's the reason it's in theaters. It's going to theaters because that third party company they're working with wants to release it in theaters instead of a streaming service.
Right. Yeah, I just think again, we'll talk about this at a different time, but again, same thing with DreamWorks Animation. They are. Again, sadly, we're at a point where the last two full in-house animated movies from DreamWorks are coming this year, or next year, I mean. And that's Kung Fu Panda 4 and something called The Wild Robot. After that, they are outsourcing most of their stuff. They'll be collabing with other studios, but it will not be full in-house ever again, most likely. That's their expectation. So, a lot of studios are going that way. We're going to wrap it up here. And that has been ToonTalk. How long is this stretch gone, Mark?
To 26 minutes. 26 minutes and 50 seconds.
Under 30. That's exactly what we want. All right, guys, we appreciate you for watching. Of course, you can find us right here on the ScreenBlast podcast, or you can find it on CartoonChat's YouTube channel. Guys, thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more.
Logging out, everybody.